What's up, everybody? It's your boy Wes Grant. You're watching Sub Urban Nerd. This channel where I give my nerd views on today's movie reviews. Well, today we're going to be reviewing a movie that I just saw recently. It's called Kingsman: The Golden Circle. Now, I went in this movie, I guess, with somewhat high, medium expectations, because after the first one, I loved the movie. I loved the first Kingsman. Kingsman Secret Service. That movie was out of nowhere, and that thing I had so much fun. I just loved it. But, now mind you, there's going to be a little bit of spoilers here and there. Not going to go too crazy spoilers, but spoilers here and there. This movie, not going to say it disappointed too much, but I expected more. It's getting a lot of trash. A lot of people that love the first one do not like this one. And I could definitely see why. It fell short on a good amount of things. Storyline wasn't there. The first one, it definitely had heart. And this one, the action was crazy. This one had a lot of moments where the beginning, definitely action-packed, crazy, definitely the camera all over the place. Yeah. But then it just had moments where just just lull, nothing's happening. As opposed to the first one where it was just one after the next after the next after the next, and you just enjoyed it more. This one had little holes. And then what they did was, the one thing that a lot of people didn't like was the promoting. How Shannon Tatum, his character, they promoted his character like he was going to be in the movie the whole time. And when he's in the movie, maybe 5 minutes, and then he's out. You see him, but he's out for the majority of the time. He's not fighting alongside them. Of course, the movie, stars the main character, Taron Egerton. He's playing Eggsy, and then Colin Firth's character comes back, Harry. And most of the time, you're gonna see them with Whiskey, who's played by Pedro Pascal. And I liked Pedro Pascal's character. I liked just the way everything worked, and you're trying to figure out where's the twist and what's going on. And the main villain, Poppy, played by Julianne Moore, I didn't know what to think of her character, because the one flaw I had was they were trying so hard to make her seem evil, over the top evil, damn evil. One of the main characters they bring into them is this character Angel, and he's brought in the beginning, and it seems as if his character is just put in there just to showcase how evil Julianne Moore's Poppy is. Spoiler alert, like I said, he gets brought in by another member of the Secret Circle. Apparently he did something wrong, and then she tells him to throw him into the meat grinder. And then the guy tries to run, dogs stop him, mechanical dogs, knocks him out, throws him in, blends him, and then he gets the tattoo and everything put on him, on his chest. And they do, they file down his teeth and all that stuff. And then they bring him back, and then they have her, she makes a burger patty out of the guy that she just had grounded up, and then gives it to him for him to eat. Then he eats it. I'm like, okay, you're showing you're evil, okay. But and then, I guess he took, I don't know what happened, whether he took some of the supply or he used some drugs, but I'm like, okay, what did he do wrong? Is it against the law to use any drugs? Because, apparently, Elton John was coming down, because he laced all these drugs to basically have these people come down to these conditions where you see the balloon veins, and then you dance in fever, or you just start hallucinating, and then eventually you go catatonic, or you paralysis, you can't move, and then your eyeballs pop, or whatever, which was, whatever, gruesome. But then, I guess Elton John, she kidnaps him to play for her, because she has this whole world, and the thing, she's upset because she's the most successful business person in the world, but no one knows her name because she has to hide she has to hide because of the drug cartel. And I'm like, that makes no sense. If no one knows you, why the fuck do you have to hide in the jungle? It makes no sense. If no one knows you, if you're upset because no one knows you, why can't you get a hotel, or a nice little a condo suite like over Las Vegas or over in L.A., New York. Like there's no issue there. No one knows you. So like her whole plot, the reason for doing what she did, really didn't make sense. It had a lot of holes in it, and then they're just trying to make her seem so. And then when Elton John guys come down with these blue veins, and she was like, "Where Elton? Where did you get the drugs? Where did you use it?" And then he says, "Angel." I'm like, okay, so did Angel just give him a free sample, or was he was partying with Angel? But then like so, but Angel could have like you buy drugs from anywhere, so he got supply from some of the people. Like I didn't understand. What did Angel do wrong? Because apparently it was enough for her to sick her mechanical dogs and rip them apart. Now, I'm going to go down to people. Taron Egerton, he was great. Eggsy, apparently he's with the princess that let him, stick it in a booty hole at the end of the first Kingsman. And he's still with her. And he's dating her and like, okay, as far as that, cool. Then we get to meet his friends and shit like that. Okay, cool. You get the dog. So they got the relationship. I'm cool with that. The way they bring back Colin Firth, it's a whole bunch of bullshit, but it makes sense. I give them that. The way they bring him back, I give them that. Because apparently if you get shot in the head, headshots don't matter. It ain't like the video games, headshots, you're out. I mean, granted, in the real world, you can get shot in the head and still survive. So as far as that, it's possible. But they have this little pad that fills up the gel, and then it rejuvenates the brain, and then all it does is give you amnesia. And then that's so pretty much anybody gets shot in the head, you can bring him back. Like it's a given, no matter how many times, right? So that's how he gets. But he brought back amnesia, so he doesn't know who he is. He just thinks he's a butterfly guy. So going through that, you got him. They're trying to get his memory back. Apparently, then finally he gets his memory back. They're on a mission, but except he's hallucinating here and there. You have one of the main characters, Mark Strong, which I love his character, Merlin. He's really cool. And I got confused because the lawyer that went to Poppy's place, I thought that was Merlin. But then all of a sudden Merlin's like, he's on a plane with Eggsy and Harry. And I'm like, so that wasn't him. Because same guy, glasses, bald head, everything. Jeff Bridges' character, he was Champagne, or Champ, the one in charge of Statesman. The brother company to Kingsman, and the one of the other guys, what's his name? He was in the beginning of it. Charlie. He was played by Edward Hallcroft, and I remember him from the first movie, and it was cool. Like this fight scenes when he was in there, especially at the end where he has a mechanical arm and all that. It seemed very sad. It seemed very cartoonish, which I believe that's what they were going for, but it was a little bit over the top, because when it came down to the action close to the end, you had Elton John freaking doing kung fu movies. Kung fu moves, and I was like, damn, really? And then the drugs, and then where they really lost me was all the people that took the drugs. So millions, hundreds of millions of people took this drug and get the blue veins, and then they take them and then they lock them all in this stadium, stack them on top of each other. And I'm like, okay, is this one stadium, or you're trying to say everybody got put in this one stadium? That's a hell no. Secondly, people take drugs at different times. She gave them a time frame for them to get the drug from her, and then the president, of course, twists. He doesn't want to, get the drug because he figures anybody that did drugs is bad. So the war on drugs will be over if he just lets everybody die and pretends like he's going to get the cure. But even if they got the cure, it makes no sense because everyone took the things at different times. So majority of people would have died because it wasn't consistent as far as how long someone's going to stay without being kind of tired, because Elton John took it, but apparently this dude lasts all the way until he's on the TV. Meanwhile, someone else, that their eyes are popping, and then his girlfriend took it, but she lasts long enough to survive. And I'm like, even if you have the drug to send to all the hospitals, who's to say that they're going to be able to get it from the hospital to their house? So the more I think about the movie, the more flaws I see in the movie. And I'm not giving it an F. Like, if I was to grade it, I wouldn't give it an F because I still was entertained. It's just there was a lot of issues with it, which I can see why a lot of people didn't like it, and it fell very short of the first one because, like I said, it had some good action, but it was nowhere near the first one. Like I was expecting like a church scene, like from the first movie. A church scene to pop up never happened. Never happened. There was never anything close to that scene. So, they tried to make it with the end where they going into the thing and like, R.I.P. We lost Merlin, which he was like probably one of my favorite guys. He went out like a boss though. He took them all out. But then the way they're going in there and then they're fighting and they're shooting, like they should have been shot at least once. But hey, whatever. They make it. And then at the end, the twist with Whiskey, I sort of didn't saw it coming, but I sort of saw it coming. Like when he was on the silver bullet heading towards them, I already knew that he's probably gonna. He wasn't gonna save the day. He was probably gonna fight because right when they're about to type in that password, boop, catches him. But the fight was, it was okay. But then the way with the meat grinder, and then like the sexual things, like with Eggsy and the finger, it's just I don't know what to think of this movie. I would give it a C because I did enjoy parts of it, but I definitely expected a lot more, and it wasn't as consistent with the action. It was a lot of like the slow moving moments in the movie, as opposed to the first one where it was just it just kept going and kept going. Like it was kind of nonstop. The main villain, Samuel Jackson with that lisp, he was a great villain. I'm not even gonna front. He was a great villain. I was entertained watching him. This villain, they tried too hard to make her seem like a villain. And then for her reasons for being a villain didn't make sense. Okay, boo-hoo, you want attention. Okay? You have the most money in the world. Fucking live your life. Go on trips. You're if no one knows who you are, they're not looking for you. You can go anywhere around the world. You're not an international criminal. You might internationally be the top of the top, but if no one knows you, and because that's the issue, you can go anywhere. And that's why this movie fails in that aspect. The villain just wasn't relatable. You didn't understand why she was doing what she was doing. You didn't understand why she didn't just go away, go somewhere, go anywhere, and she secluded herself in this small little town. It just didn't make sense to me. So, and Pedro, I like Pedro too. The one thing I was hoping that he didn't become a bad guy, because I really liked this character. And then you barely got anything of Channing Tatum's character, and I'm thinking maybe for Kingsman 3, but I don't know after this. I think it failed. I don't know if it's gonna have the legs that the first one did. That's why the sequel got made, because the first one just kept going. It stayed in the top 5 for like 2 months or something like that, or 3. Like it just kept staying in there somehow. Like I said, the guy Angel, the villain, the action hero, there was this one scene where I'm thinking they should have used this, where this guy has a mechanical arm, Eggsy has a watch that hacks into anything mechanical, and he's having him moving and having him hitting himself. And the whole time I'm just watching like, why aren't you having him say, why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? Like, that was the perfect moment to have him say that Eggsy's a smartass. That should have crossed his mind at some point. And you can't even get the jokes right. Like, that was perfect. How do you miss that? But, like I said, it was okay. It wasn't horrible. It was somewhat entertaining, but nuts throughout. The main villain wasn't fun. They just tried too hard. Like, now I'm thinking about it, I might give this a C-. I don't want to give it a D, because I like the characters. But you didn't get to enjoy them like you did. Like, the action scene with Pedro or Whiskey and him in his lasso, I did enjoy that. But I saw all of it on the trailer, so it was nothing new for me. So, if I had to give it a grade, I would give it a C-. That's my review for Kingsman: The Golden Circle. So, enjoy. Remember, subscribe, check out my last review, and I'm Wes Grant. This is Suburban Nerd, and you've just been nerdified. Catch you in the next movie review.